Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the backyard here at Bloss. We're coming to day 2 of what has been a fantastic event, as usual, organised by the Bloss team, or as they refer to it as the wider family. So this particular session is entitled the Breakfast of Champions. So you're not getting breakfast, but you are going to get an insight into 3 certainly very different individuals, and rightly so. So I'm going to introduce you to the producer champions from over the years. And before I do that, a producer's champion is voted upon by the producers on the island of Ireland. And it's usually someone that has done over and above the obvious to help and to support Irish food producers. And certainly the 3 that we have on the stage today, they have done that. Some of them have done it for years. So I will start on my far right, and I suppose this man needs no introduction. He's known to everybody. You try to go from here to being in Dingle, which is 100 yards, and I think it takes about 2.5 hours. But he's been delighted to have you here in Dingle this weekend, Evan, because I know you've been filming all week. So welcome to the backyard.
It's so good to be here. And you know what, it's such... I don't know, it's something very special about the Bloss. The whole food community, it's just magical. Hearing their excitement. For them, when they win an award or being shortlisted, it's like them winning a Michelin star. It's absolutely exciting, and everyone's learning from one another, and it's just so refreshing to see that, because we're in a good time in Irish food. I know it's difficult, but we have amazing producers, the talent that's out there, the innovation, how creative they can be. So it's because we have great raw ingredients here in Ireland, and we're just showcasing that just next door with all the lovely producers. So it's great, Brian. I'm doing a new show for RT, so it's all in the Greenway. So we're talking about food producers, what's local in the area, all over. We've done Mayo, Galway. We're in Athlone next week. We're in Kerry this week, and we have to do Waterford. So it's lovely to showcase what's great about our country, the people, the producers, the chefs, the food. I honestly think the food community don't get enough praise for what they do in Ireland, to be honest with you. And that's from farmers, producers making it, people selling it, anyone within the food industry. It's a great time to be in Irish food, also a challenging time, as you know.
Yeah.
But I just think we have so much great produce.
Well, thank you, Evan. I don't think anyone does anything more than you for Irish food producers for an awful long time. So you've definitely been a very worthy producers champion.
Thank you.
And that brings us on really to this year. And this year we've done a lot remotely, both in business, conversations and otherwise. But the voting still took place this year. And I think that the winners we have for the producers champion this year were so deserving for a number of reasons that we're going to hear about. Because sometimes producers have a product, and before they get to the ambitious retail stage, they need certain people to champion and take on a product, not just to put it on a shelf, but to almost animate it through the very physical hands, conversation, and everything that I have certainly witnessed that both these 2 have brought out across platforms over the last 18 months or so. So if I can, those of you that don't know them, can I please introduce you to Laura and to Johnny from Indie Fude. So Laura, you're very welcome.
Thank you.
You're no stranger to Dingle.
No, we're old pros at this point.
Yeah, we've had many's a long night, haven't we, in Dingle, all of us?
Yes, you make that sound delightful.
I think that has to be said. We be
many
professional.
pints, many
And everybody you meet, we're saying, "Oh, what time did you get home last night?" And I think that's what's lovely. Let's be honest about the producers being here, ye being here, the chefs, the food writers, everybody coming together. There's just a relaxed environment, and
Absolutely.
I want both of you to kind of take us back to, I suppose, at the origination and the start of your business, just to tell us a little bit about it.
I suppose it's probably Johnny's area of expertise, because I wasn't there since the start. He was at the very forefront.
Yeah, I was stuck upstairs in my parents' attic, I think was the initial start. But it was really here at Bloss, actually.
Aye.
I came down about 8 years ago now and knocked on Artie and Fallon's door and asked, could I have a badge to come into the marquee to see all the wonderful Irish products. But I had this great passion built up for products in Ireland, the seasonality, the quality, everything to do with them. So wanted to launch Indie Fude and make it all about Irish produce, indigenous food, independent food labels. I just had loved going around, I guess, farmers markets around the island and seeing all these great, but you couldn't get them on the shelves anywhere. And they needed obviously a little bit of help to scale up. So I first of all took it online, as I said, in my parents' attic, shelved it out, brought all this produce up to Northern Ireland, flicked on a website, but there's nobody at the end of it, unfortunately. So I picked up a table and went to a farmer's market and started that journey myself, sort of into Indie Fude. And then it picked up quite quickly, and especially when Laura join me. She was a very good customer, a really, really good food blogger as well. She had a wonderful ethics about Irish food, the provenance of them, the welfare even of our animals and our farmers, talking about that. So, yeah, it was great to bring Laura on board first as a consultant, an employee, and as a friend, first and foremost, and somebody to share that journey with, and it's been great.
And of course, you've opened a second shop, and you've gone online now, and you're doing hampers, you're doing gifts. So, Laura, explain a little bit about the background to that, because you can't do any of that, of course, without the fantastic products and producers.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I think so. The website's kind of been taken over in the background all the way along. Johnny opened the pop-up shop then. It was offered an opportunity by a local businessman to give it a go in our local town, Cumber. We opened that, it was about 7 years ago now. And then had a really good Christmas, people coming into the shop. And as Johnny says, delighted that all of these products were suddenly at their fingertips that they didn't even know about, let alone couldn't get. And then once I was there, I was like, Johnny, I can't walk up these metal stairs anymore. We had this like rickety metal stairs into this little shop that was kind of serving its purpose as it was growing, but I could not fall down those stairs one more time. So we went and found a location on the high street in Cumber, a lot bigger. Kind of purpose built, lovely big kind of cheese fridge, a charcuterie, meze, and then everything from your gelatos and coffees and charcuterie, all that stuff there. And then thought, well, kind of people of Belfast deserve a bit of this as well.
Yeah.
We can't keep it hidden in the countryside all along. So we opened our cheese shop in Belfast then, coming up to 2 years this Christmas. A bit of a crazy pandemic sort of project, but we're blessed in that it worked really well. It is in Belfast, but it's on kind of another small community. It's on the Ormer Road. So there's still lots of housing there and lots of other independent shops.
Yeah.
So we were really welcomed with open arms, which you need, particularly kind of in a challenging time. So that shop now is doing really well, mainly down to our staff too. As much as the kind of producers and the products are important, the fact that we kind of have maybe a team of 10 people all together now, and the fact we're both here kind of serves to that sort of we can just come down here for a weekend and be like, you guys are brilliant, you know all the stuff, you look after it, we can trust you. Couple of panic text messages aside.
3 in the morning.
Yeah, but we've had a really good journey up until that, and then onto the website, and the website kind of pushes everything out further again through the hampers too, which is really good.
Yeah, it's been a remarkable story, and it's been a lovely one to watch. So, I mean, from a food producer point of view, somebody that's gone from a hobbyist and they've taken an idea, they've developed it, and they realise this is getting really good feedback. What's the approach to the likes of yourselves, and what is it that you do for them?
Yeah, look, I think we both understand it's really difficult. As a producer, you've got that passion, you've got that product, and you're really passionate about it, but you need a little bit of support, and you need your retailer. It's like a perfect circle. Everybody needs each other and to be working with each other. So from our perspective, we love to see a sample. We don't want to necessarily just post it. We love to meet the producer, even here when we're down in Dingle. This is a fabulous occasion to catch up with people. And meet them face to face. I think that is really important, that contact. Yes, bringing us a sample, telling us what to do with it, talking us through your journey. So building those stories in our head. Again, Laura mentioned our staff there. Again, we're very conscious that, whenever a producer does tell us a story, we pass that on to our staff as well. So something clicks in their head, Dingle, sea salt, hand harvested, things like this. So the customer comes into the shop, they're able to share it. So very much come up and see us. We love to do tastings in our stores as well, host those on a regular basis. And just get to meet you. Having us, I think, represented also on websites. So we obviously want to tell the producer story, but also I think it's nice for us as the retailer to maybe be on your website, and all those backlinks and search engine optimization really help in the whole, everybody sort of coming through this together, Brian.
Yeah, and I think I have to say, I think why you're very worthy winners is because the amount of people certainly that I know that you gave a platform to, you gave a retail space, valuable information at an early stage of their journey before, they go into the big bad world of the big retailers that they talk about. And I'm glancing down and I'm looking at Alistair and Nevin. I mean, Alistair, Corndale, a perfect story. You're very familiar with it. It's got onto your shelves. You supported it. bought into the individual, but it's a great showcase really of what can be done.
Incredible, incredible. I mean, like Alistair is one of those people who you look at, taste his products, his passion, his love, rears his own pigs. Like, that's a great story. That's, and the whole curing and everything. It's so niche, so specialised, and you know the fact that we can do it in Ireland. You know, Spain is renowned for it, but it's absolutely fantastic. I know you've done a huge amount of work, you know, with so many producers, Brian. You're being very modest. You've recently joined the Simply Better team, you know, and it's great that you're working and mentoring and helping food producers because they do need that. You know, and you've done some absolutely outstanding work. Like I've been with Simply Better now for 7 years, so my role is visiting the producer, telling their story, and maybe doing some lovely recipes that people can cook at home. But they're the food heroes.
Yeah.
You know, we just come up with the ideas to showcase, to talk about it. You know, and I get so much inspiration from visiting food producers, whether it's with Simply Better on the TV show. You're always learning as a chef. You're always learning about food, about producers, and about I suppose people's eating habits and tastes. Because Ireland, the palate has changed in Ireland so much, you know, since even we've opened the restaurant in 33 years. The Irish consumer, they want Irish, they want to support local, and you know, we got to keep reminding ourselves what's local, what's seasonal, what's regional. No one does it better than in Italy with their PGI logos. They protect what they have. They're very clever people, so they are.
Yeah, and I think we're all moving to that space where, you know, there's that conversation of people want to buy local, do they actually? But they need accessibility to it, which you provide and you perform on your platforms to give them that. So, you know, what is the kind of do's and don'ts when it comes to someone that comes in with a product at an early stage? You know, Johnny, what is it that you see and you think you're not ready just yet or otherwise?
Well, a lot of it can be, I'm going to say, packaging.
Okay.
You know, and that's sort of that's genuine because it can be the most fabulous tasting product in the world.
Yeah.
But as retailers, we to sell it, and we can talk about it and try and put that image in your head, or how to cook with it, or how to use it. But sometimes you can't spend time walking with a customer through the shop. They'll just look at the shelves. So packaging is key, and putting a little bit of investment in there. You know, you go into the Blast tent there, the Blast Village, and have a look at some of the products on the shelf. You lift the ones that look good down first.
They pop, don't they?
They do, and there's some fabulous branding, and it's something I've noticed since along this journey over the years, how much the packaging has come on with people. There's Mick in the audience. He's got, you know, fabulous graphic design on his bottles, and it's very easy for us then.
A great product.
Yeah, great product too. You know, it's really easy to sell that product because it just sits there and it looks so good on the shelf. So definitely putting that little bit of early investment into how the product looks as well as
maybe Laura, you know, when a Blast na Heron award and a label goes on that, what changes for the producer and the retailer?
It's that sort of all-over stamp of approval, really, isn't it? You know, you can have a brilliant product and it be sitting on that shelf beside 6 other really great products, all looking good, all kind of people telling you they're all good, try them. But if there's one there with a Blast label on it, it's the one that you will see customers reach for.
Yeah.
Because they know it's that extra stamp of approval. They know it's been independently judged. They know that kind of people that they know and trust have judged those products, and that the producer has had the kind of faith and kind of know how to enter it and be like, look, I think this is really good, guys. Please try it. And that's also really important. It's really good for it gives people that ability to be proud of their work, which is so important.
Yeah, and Evan, you mentioned in your earlier part, you know, that we're all here and we're all relaxed, and rightly so. We're meeting each other. The amount of unscheduled networking, meeting, and conversations that has taken place over the last 24 hours.
That's incredible.
It's unbelievable.
Incredible. It's just this whole weekend, like, you know, you can see why it's such a special occasion for food producers to hear the excitement of them coming in. You know, they're shortlisted, they're excited. They're proud of what they do. They're passionate about what they do. I was recently in a shop in Connemara, a hamper company, and so many Blast na Heron finalists, awards, you know, to do a hamper sending to America. That's very powerful. That's huge now. It just shows people there's an appetite now for Irish food, for Irish producers. And the likes of Board BA, they do great work throughout the world, showcasing great Irish food, from our dairy to our beef, whatever, to our shellfish. You know, we are in a good time, and it's just about supporting these small producers. And this is what this weekend showcases, the very best in Irish food.
Yeah, I mean, it's a unique event. Blast has always been and always will be, and we'll all continue to support that. If just to looking at the retail space, maybe finally on this one, you know, these early conversations that take place, the phone call, you've explained the route and what you provide. You know, the duty of care to the producer, what's next, the support they need. You know, it's so important that they have some bit of a strategy, don't they, in terms of where they want to go with their product and business.
Yeah, it's really important to feel aware, particularly with the smaller independent shops, that they want to help, they want your product to work. Maybe it's not selling, unfortunately, but ask them why. You know, we are here to chat. Like, not every product does work in the shop, unfortunately, but ask why, find out kind of what the feedback is, what you can do maybe to help it sort of be better acknowledged, because we see ourselves, we're doing tastings in store. You can have a product that looks nice, sits on the shelf, and then a producer will come in, they'll do a tasting. While they're there, they'll do a wee video about it. We'll do a video, we'll do a bit of chat, and then it can be one of the most popular products in the shop, because suddenly people will be coming back every month for it because they love it. And oh, Sally made that, and wasn't she delightful? And I remember tasting that in the shop with the guys. And they've got this kind of personal connection. And particularly with the smaller producers, that's what it's about. It is about your story and personal connections. That's what people invest in. They'll pay a few pounds extra because they really like you, and that's kind of important.
And you've seen many trends over the years. Where is it now at the minute?
You better say cheese.
I was going to say cheese. Yeah, cheese is, look, Irish cheese is, I'm fortunate enough to judge at the World Cheese Awards and different cheeses events around the place. And you just see, again, we don't really appreciate what we have maybe on our doorstep here. But certainly when you go to France, Italy, Norway, and you talk, they go, Irish cheese, it's brilliant. You know, we have these fantastic raw materials that we, you know, make cheese out of, obviously our wonderful dairy. I was lucky enough to be in Sardinia last week with our business partner, Davide Tani. He's an Italian mozzarella maker who ended up in Ireland, obviously followed a woman over here. And he's been here for 8 years, making in his garage, little sort of mini lab. And then myself and himself fell in together during lockdown. He wanted to learn more about Irish cheese, go out to the markets with me. So we formed a partnership on the sort of the cheese production. But going out to Sardinia, you realise the milk and obviously how you make the process of making the mozzarella is very unique and very skilled. But the quality of the milk, I must say, when Davide uses our milk here in Ireland, with, you know, his skill as a cheese maker, it's night and day on the taste difference. You know, that wonderful grass-fed butteriness comes through. So you go to somewhere like Sardinia, it's very, you know, a bit drier and hay-fed cattle. So our cheeses are wonderful, and they're definitely having a moment, whether it's like the craft beer, the craft gins and spirits and whatnot, but cheese is definitely having a moment, and it's great to be part of that.
Yeah, and I know people that certainly are going into your shop, they're not just going in for cheese, they're going in for the conversation and education of it, aren't they, as well?
Oh, totally, yeah, and it's those accompaniments, you know, that you have with it. It's important that we link everything up. We've been fortunate to start to work with some other producers, Bob and Susie in Burren Balsamics, who've designed sort of Pacific chutneys and crackers for us, actually to accompany that journey. So you're saying a blue cheese, this chutney, this type of cracker. So you're actually taking the education level a bit.
You're bringing them on a food journey too. Like, trends will always come and go. That's just part of the cycle of life, isn't it? I mean, you got to be true to yourself, you know, and using local. And I suppose people just love the story of what you're producing, you know, and like they're lucky to get a platform like yourselves that they can get good feedback, positive feedback, and you know they can move on.
Yeah, and I mean, Evan, you've travelled the length and breadth of this country and have done for years, even your recent show. Nothing is surprising you what's coming out in terms of producers and what we're finding of nuggets right across the country.
Oh, it's incredible. And you never stop learning. You meet someone, you say, that's very clever, that's brilliant. And even when you come here and you see all the amazing products, it must be very difficult shortlisting them, first of all.
Yeah.
You know, there's such an array of super talented people who are innovative, creative. And again, I go back, the Irish palate is definitely changing. There's more people from all over the world coming and living in Ireland, so we have to keep that in mind too. This perception of bacon and cabbage in Ireland, which is absolutely delicious, but food has changed so much and moved on. There's great innovation all over the country, you know. So it's great to see that.
I suppose both of you kind of touched, and it's important to say it, you know, Bloss is, I suppose, Johnny, you've been part, and Laura, part of the judging for a long number of years. I mean, it's a blind judging. So that process for a producer, I mean, there's no label, there's no branding. You're sitting at a table with 8 different people, you know, and no 2 people are tasting the same thing at the same time. There's no influencing. It's a very kind of organic, unique model, isn't it, when it comes to tasting for finals?
It is. It's a fabulous process, and I think the producers really, you know, once you get that gold, silver, bronze, whatever it might be, you know that's been analysed by experts or analysed by people in the industry. You're given genuine feedback, and it's it's judged on quality. It really is. So it's a wonderful award, I think, to be part of, and it's going from strength to strength.
Yeah.
Actually to win an award is getting harder every year. The quality in that tent
true.
is something else. It really is. So anybody that does pick up anything, even being a finalist, to be quite honest with you, is a great achievement.
Yeah.
It really is.
And finally, Laura, when you a buyer, retailer, what are you looking for in there? Just finally, as a walk around the showcase.
I think there's space on all the shelves. There's always space for sort of an exciting new product or a really good story or something a bit different. So it's not just products that we haven't seen before. It's just really good examples of classics as well.
Yeah.
You don't have to be doing something that's being perceived as cool or trendy for it to be wonderful. You can have a really, really great strawberry jam, like superb bit of bacon, and that's kind of just as good. We're just looking for really great examples of what they are.
Yeah.
And that's what you have here. That's what was bringing you to the final. You are kind of the best in your field, and it's great because you can look around all the shelves. You know that everything that's there is something that you probably want to eat.
Yeah, good. Well, thank you, folks. A big thank you to our past and current, the food producers champions. So to Johnny, Laura, and to
yourself.
Evan McGuire.
And Brian too,
Brian,
yes.
Thank you very much, and thank you to Bank of Ireland. And
Well done.
if you do have any questions, we have a couple of minutes.
Hi, morning, guys. Graham from Causeway Coffee. Couple of things. First of all, like quite a few of us here, a big thanks to Johnny, to Laura, to Brian, of course, as well. Amazing producer champions, wonderful supporters. We're lucky enough to be stocked in the shops. And just to repeat what they were saying earlier about the real support as a small producer in the feedback, and also giving confidence to us smaller producers to actually go and fight with the bigger guys and to shake things up in the market and to be there maybe on the Ormer Road and to really do good things, which is great. I have a question for you though. So from obviously your huge experience in retail, what are your predictions for how the customer may change over the next few years? What direction do you think things might be going? Obviously apart from cheese, of course, but other things.
And coffee, obviously. Oh, it's a tricky one, isn't it? It is hard to predict these trends. I think at the moment we're just really lucky to be kind of riding on that trend of local and quality, and there are more and more people out there who are beginning to now set aside a slightly larger percentage of their income where they can afford to kind of get this quality, to have things that they know are putting money back into the local economy, tasting brilliant, coming from a local shop and a local producer. So hopefully the overall picture, it will become more people buying local normal products, looking in to support people that are making they'll come in and buy a really, really good jam or the really good bread, the really good coffee, not just coming for super specialty stuff when they kind of have a special occasion. We are seeing more and more people coming in weekly and not doing their entire shop because it would, we don't all have the budget for that, but coming in and picking off those few interesting things just to make everybody's weeks better if they've got good food.
Yeah, and I think it's also important to say, producers sometimes look to retailers to see where the next trend is. And I know Derek Gallagher's here from Simply Better. I mean, we've often sat in those meetings. It only takes 2 or 3 people to create a trend, to create a movement, and to create a change in a category. And that is ye that are sitting there. So it's this barrier and breaking it down between retailers and yourselves as producers. It's humans, it's conversation. You know what you do and you do it well and you believe in it. Come with that conversation, that's where it starts, and that can be the start of a trend that you could gloat about starting this time next year. So, don't sit back and wait for it to happen.
That's it. Pressure's on you, Graham.
Yes. I think those producer collaborations, this is a great zone for that to come together. Everybody's meeting here very casually, talking about their products. So whether it be Simon there with his ice cream, you with his coffee, Alistair with charcuterie, coming together, doing some collaborations, putting 2 names on a product, all of a sudden has more strength in numbers.
And we have that
here. Coffee ice cream, coffee gelato.
Yeah. And I mean, we
with
have
chorizo.
that.
Chorizo crumb on, so I don't know, maybe not with the gelato.
Even looking down to the audience, you see, Gillian from Morgan Seafood, who's collaborated with you, Alistair, and are creating something that's about to launch under Duns and Simply Better. I remember when I met you, it was like, do you ever think I'll get into a retailer? And it's like, do you want in? you know, you can make it happen. It's about understanding where you are now, where you want to go, and you know the platform that's been given, you know, through Johnny and Laura. And it's all about progression and next stages, but collaboration is certainly the answer to innovation. There's no doubt about it.
Sorry. When we were talking to Blas about the producers champion, and they asked all the producers, you know, what has Johnny and Laura done for you? I remember just sitting at my computer going, where do I start?
Yeah.
You know, I could write a book on this. And I started from the start, and it was, you know, Johnny was one of the first guys I met in terms of retail. He was the first retailer that took our product on, and Laura used to blog about us all the time and share pictures, and that really got us going. And it's just been invaluable, the feedback that we've got from both of them throughout the years. And just a big thanks to both of you.
And I still haven't got to come up and like cuddle a pig yet.
I know everybody else has.
Brilliant. Yeah.
We'll go on tour sometime.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're kind of done on time, so thank you very much. Fallon has given me that look, which I know over the years. Yeah, she walks up closer, but thank you very much. Thank you to Bank Ireland for this continued support over the years to the backyard. So we'll be hanging around. So thank you, Nevin, Laura, and
you.
Johnny. Thank you. Well done.
Well done. Thanks, guys.
Nevin, cheers.
Well done, Brian.